Cruise news. A cruise line seeks input from passengers regarding a popular item, and an overwhelming majority is aligned that they want it banned from cruise ships. I'm going to get you the details. Plus, I have information on new ports, new projects, new perks, and loads more. And I'm going to get you all the information fast coming up. Welcome to the Travel Scouts. My name is Jason. We are your cruise information channel. We get you the cruise news and information you're looking for quickly without wasting your time. So if you love cruising, consider subscribing. Let's go ahead and kick things off with number 1. Royal Caribbean has been adding a brand new port to several existing sailings. The name of the port is Cabo Rojo. It is located on the southwestern coast of the Dominican Republic. Cabo Rojo just opened in January, and Royal Caribbean is now adding the port to existing sailings on both the Adventure of the Seas and the Oasis of the Seas cruise ships. Instead of replacing another planned port of call, Royal Caribbean has been adding the port in lieu of a scheduled sea day. Cabo Rojo is also visited by Holland America, MSC, Costa, and Azamara cruises. The destination is said to have some great beaches. It is also known for its hiking and snorkeling opportunities. Then number 2, if you have a cruise going to Cozumel, Mexico, it is official that it will cost $5 more per person beginning next year. The governor of the Mexican state has officially signed the agreement. The agreement is with the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, and it requires the funds to be overseen by a technical committee that will ensure their effective and transparent use. The entirety of the tax revenue is supposed to be used for tourism infrastructure, port security, and natural disaster prevention measures. The new tax will begin to be levied on cruise passengers at some point during the first half of next year. Moving on to number 3, it has become a popular thing for some ports to blame the cruise industry for over-tourism. However, a look at the data shows that some of these destinations have it all wrong. The first example is Venice, Italy. The sinking city had 20 million tourists visit the destination in the past year. And a lot of media speaks to cruise ships flooding the city with people. Cruise ships are large and they are visible, so they get a lot of attention, but the data shows that cruise ships are not the real issue at all. In fact, during this same time period, only 2.5% of the visitors arrived by cruise ship. Yet a new ban was recently put in place to keep cruise ships out of the city center. The same could be said for the media regarding Amsterdam. Amsterdam has instituted caps on cruise visits, citing the over-tourism nuisance. Last year, the city had 19 million visitors, but was the cruise industry the main driver for this? The reality is that the actual data shows that only 1.5% of those came from cruise ships. Next, number 4, I have a hurricane season update. The Eastern Pacific is currently clear. Let's take a look at the Atlantic. The Atlantic has 3 weather systems of concern. They are identified by the yellow X's on this map. The storm currently in the Eastern Caribbean is the biggest one to watch right now. It currently has a 40% chance of cyclone development, and it will transition across the Caribbean over the next 7 days. Hopefully nothing comes of it, but stay tuned for updates. Then number 5, Royal Caribbean is partnering with a company to bring free internet to Juneau, Alaska. This is in response to complaints about connectivity issues on busy cruise arrival days. Royal Caribbean's effort will help provide Starlink internet to both locals and cruise passengers. Installation is already underway and it is expected to be completed in the coming weeks. According to Royal Caribbean, cruise passengers should be able to access the internet throughout the city. Okay, I have 5 cruise news pieces remaining, including the top headlines of the day, but now it is time for our fast mid-show check-in. In the last video, I asked, how far in advance do you typically book your cruises? I received input from nearly 5,000 of you, and here are the results. A small portion of you, 14%, said that you book less than 6 months out, and then the majority, 54%, said that you book in that period between 6 and 12 months, and then about a third, 32%, said that you book more than 12 months in advance. Thanks for your input, and I enjoyed reading the comments. Here is today's question. The question for today has to do with one particular item. It has to do with Bluetooth speakers, and the question is this. Do you believe that Bluetooth speakers should be banned from cruise ships? Chime in down below with A for yes, they should be banned, or B for no, they should still be allowed. They are allowed on most cruise ships with restrictions, so chime in down below with your thoughts on that. I will look forward to reading that, but now on with the cruise news. Number 6, Carnival Cruise Line has announced that passengers can now pre-order distilled water for use on board. Previously, this could not be pre-ordered with Carnival. And once on board, it was not always certain of the availability or whether it would be delivered in a timely way. But with this new announcement, guests can order gallon quantities prior to their cruise. The cost is $5.90 per gallon, and the water will be available in the staterooms soon after boarding. Then number 7, Norwegian Cruise Line is changing over to a new app. The new app is simply called Norwegian Cruise Line. It is already available for download on Google Play and the Apple App Store. The new app went active with its functionality on the Norwegian Sky cruise ship when it departed on its current sailing. It will be rolled out to the ships on the screen right now during the month of September. The remainder of the fleet will go active during the month of October. Moving on to number 8, the country of Norway has greatly delayed their plans to ban most cruise ships from sailing in their fjords. Norway had announced a ban of all cruise ships in their fjords if they were not operating at zero emissions. Of course, that is a large requirement and a lot of technology development is still needed, so Norway backed away from that upcoming ban. The new date given for that requirement is now 2032. Next, number 9, the Bahamas government has authorized a $600 million project at the Grand Bahama Shipyard. This will make it the largest cruise ship repair facility in the world. As the name suggests, the Grand Bahama Shipyard is located on Grand Bahama Island. The shipyard is jointly owned by Carnival Corporation, Royal Caribbean Group, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. The governmental approval will allow the shipyard to proceed with the addition of 2 world-class floating docks. These will enable the shipyard to service the largest cruise ships in the world. The first dock will be installed next year, 2025, and the second will be added in 2026. This will boost the economy in the Bahamas, and it will also provide dry dock cost savings for the major cruise companies since they are owners of the shipyard. Plus, it will remove the need for many long transatlantic voyages for a dry dock to be completed. Then number 10, a cruise line asked their passengers for input regarding an item, and they responded overwhelmingly saying that the item should be banned. The item in question is Bluetooth speakers. These are currently permitted to be brought on pretty much all cruise lines, however, there are typically restrictions on how they can be used. For example, Carnival Cruise Line allows you to bring them, but they say, quote, Bluetooth, portable, and wireless speakers are only permitted within your stateroom and must be used respectfully and at reasonable sound levels and times of day. Now, there are sometimes those that misuse speakers, and that can create issues. Recently, it annoyed one lady so bad that she threw another couple's speaker off the ship, which is also a bad thing to do. And not too far back, this lady decided to post online after Royal Caribbean failed to stop a neighboring stateroom from ongoingly playing their Bluetooth speaker at loud levels throughout the cruise. So what do? Well, Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Hild, he took the question to cruise passengers. He received responses from around 22,000 people, and overwhelmingly 88% of those said that they should not be allowed on the ships. Plus, there were loads of comments with several noting the frequent misuse and that the whole practice of allowing them was wrong. But then there were other people who noted that they loved bringing theirs and that they used them properly. So what are your thoughts? Be sure to chime in down in the comments. I am very interested to see how this poll plays out. Also, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest cruise news and information. The next video, it'll be coming out soon, but until then, keep on cruising and we'll catch you in the next video.